In this next segment, we're going to talk about Father Peter's work in the community after the ravages of civil war. And you have to, we are told that immediately after the civil war, there's an outbreak of Ebola. And now this is a country healing from the wounds of a war, the trauma, everything. And they have to now rise up. And immediately they're trying to rise up again and start afresh. Again, there's this Ebola that has come, I don't know, from nowhere.
Let's talk about Jesus, the King of Kings, you see, the Lord of Lords, supreme throughout it.
Welcome back to our podcast. So you want to talk about Christ. And in this episode, we are discussing the book Sent to Heal a Wounded Nation, a story about Father Peter Konteh. Father Peter Konteh is a Sierra Leonean priest.
In this next segment, we're going to talk about Father Peter's work in the community after the ravages of civil war. And you have to, we are told that immediately after the civil war, there's an outbreak of Ebola. And now this is a country healing from the wounds of a war, the trauma, everything. And they have to now rise up. And immediately they're trying to rise up again and start afresh. Again, there's this Ebola that has come, I don't know, from nowhere. And now do you ask for assistance for the war? Do you ask for assistance for Ebola? This is a new thing, and the rate of how it kills people is so fast, and how it spread. Just touching someone, you could die. So families are trying to reunite to be able to heal, and you're telling them if you touch your father, you could die. You see? So in this situation, what does Father Konteh do? Caritas, as we know, is a sort of foundation in the Catholic Church that funds humanitarian programs within the Catholic Church. So, for instance, in Sierra Leone, the ravages of war and everything, how people are now living in slums, it's Caritas that is spearheading, feeding the people, providing education, healthcare, and everything else. And this is where Father Peter comes in. So in this situation where people need help, there needs to be a leader who enables all these humanitarian activities to take place. And as we've seen, Father Peter is an excellent mobilizer of resources and funds and everything. And you'll see donors in the book talking about it, how he's not just about reports and saying we did this and we did this. Basically, what Father Peter's motto is in humanitarian efforts is that he wants the money to come in, yes, help the people, yes, but he mostly wants sustainability. He wants these people, once they've been funded, they start something that will sustain them beyond the donations, so that they can stand on their
feet. Yeah.
And that is why the donors basically are very willing to work with him because they see results. They see that we gave him money, he has done this, and this is where the community is right now, and this is how they're going.
It is interesting to note that Father Peter is a man of many accolades. He is still presently the director of Caritas Freetown. Coming together, helping all these women who have been victims of sexual violence in the war, widows who have been, affected by the war. He spearheads the sort of grouping for camps for these different groups. There's a camp for widows and women with sexual history, trauma of sexual violence. He has a home for children who've been abandoned. We note that one time two twin baby girls are left at his door at the parish house, and he just takes them and takes them to his room, and the Christians are there on Sunday Mass hearing children crying from Father's room, and they call the bishop, like, Bishop, there's children in Father's house, you know, and Bishop calls him angrily, we need to see you, and you know, that's how the bishop actually helps him start a children's home that continues to serve the children of Sierra Leone who've been orphaned by the Ebola crisis and the war. One of those twin baby girls is a doctor now, which I think is something of pride, Father Peter. It is also interesting to note that even in his, activities with donors, he has not accepted donations from people who have foundations that have contrary teachings to the church. For example, donations from people who advocate for abortions and Planned Parenthood. Goes on to tell you that he's not only, he's literally, yes, a shepherd who smells like his sheep, a champion for social justice. He helps model, I think her name is Dee someone, who is a victim of FGM in Sierra Leone. It is addressed as the cat. It has been dubbed the cat. Quite the taboo subject. We keep talking about in Africa. It still ravages some of our women across the continent, and it's been very very hands-on to found the Desert Flower Initiative. Save the desert flower. Save the girls, and he's down there, hands-on, saving girls from the cat, offering them channels to get help and therapy for the trauma, and establishing schools and educational programs for them. And I think that is very remarkable. Him being that way, I mean, they started a whole association for clergy in West Africa, which he is the president. And he's also the communications director of his diocese. You sit and wonder, when does this man rest? Yeah.
Many hats.
Yes,
Most of his friends are always like, okay. He's always working. When does it rest? When does he rest? When does he get time for himself?
Yeah.
But again, I believe when you're in a community, you're surrounded by people who are suffering so much. I think your soul just keeps on pressing on you. You're the one who has right now the ability to do this for these people. Do it.
Yeah, in the words of Saint Teresa of Avila, Christ has no hands now but yours. He has no eyes but yours. You are the one who needs to go and do his work.
He has this thing of touching the untouchables, going for those people, the topics that people don't want to go close to. Like Ebola victims. People will not go near them after.
Yeah, the stigma is real.
He would hug them, he would go and talk to them. This is a disease where people say if you touch someone, you die. At least the AIDS is not about just touch.
I mean, and it's you will die in under 24 hours. Yeah. It's that infectious.
And so for him to dispel that stigma for survivors, he goes ahead and he's there on the ground. He's the one showing people, no, you can actually now get into contact with these people already. Okay. And the other thing is, there was this whole scandal for him and sex workers. He wanted again to go to the ground and try to convince these people to try to get them into a new life. And he kept on now, the propaganda. He was saying that, Father is soliciting.
Yeah.
And even he didn't mind about the propaganda and everything. He went ahead and saved about, I don't know how many women, and gave them an alternative way of sustaining themselves. He is also known for welcoming those priests and seminarians who
have left formation and left the priesthood. Yeah.
He actually says that people still don't understand that when you leave to go to seminary, or when you feel like you received the call, you're going there to discern.
It's a journey you have to
go. Discernment. And sometimes you can discern that anyway.
You discern out. Yes.
And I think this is, he even has a quote in here where he says, we do not understand that people can come out of it. And it's not that they have left God.
Yeah.
It's that God has a different path for them. So Father is known again for welcoming these people into still to be part of the community.
I think it's very inspiring, and it's one of the biggest lessons I think as the church in Kenya we should learn to embrace our own who have left formation, because there's so much stigma around it. There's so much he's different, or she has failed, or I think we should deal with them gently and actually strive to do that. So seeing that with Father Peter is very inspiring for me.
So there is so much we can talk about this book. This book is very, very wide. You can tackle it in so many angles, and we can go on and on to speak about so many things. This book is 1,000 Kenyan shillings. Dear viewer, if you want to know more, or we want to read more about the life of Father Peter Konteh, you can have it from any Pauline's book center near you. And also it is available online on Amazon, so you can get it there. It's a lesson to take, because each one of us has been given this task to go and proclaim the word of God to all people, wherever you find yourself. So maybe to wrap up, what do we learn?
The church really provides very beautiful reflections for us every year, and especially in this Jubilee year of hope, to go and be missionaries of hope. We like to think of hope as something far-flung that we are going to reach for. We seem to forget that hope is actually getting herself up, wiping blood from her mouth and spitting out a tooth and choosing to keep going. Hope is not exactly beautiful in the sense that we imagine it. It is this servant leadership. It is going out into the world, rolling up our sleeves and saying yes to whatever circumstance the Lord puts us in, and offering ourselves to the ultimate for the service of His people.
I would wrap it up in a verse when he was talking about separating sheep and goats. It's supposed to be sheep because goats are very proud. So let me just read it, because the word of God somehow has a way of transforming. When the Son of Man comes in His glory and all the angels with Him, He will sit on His glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before Him, and He will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on His right and the goats on the left. The King will say to those on the right, "Come, you are blessed by my Father. Take your inheritance. The kingdom is prepared for you since creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. For I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you visited me." And the righteous will answer Him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry, or feed you, or thirsty, and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and go visit you?" And the King will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." And this is it. This is it. I will not add.
Yeah.
No caption.
Yeah.
So, in the final analysis, we are missionaries, all missionaries, and we can serve the Lord in whichever state of life we are, in whatever situation we are. Let us be missionaries to each other. Don't forget to buy this book. It's a must read for everybody to have that first-hand information about missionary work and how you can serve your people, how you can give hope to all you encounter. So you can order also online, paulinesafrica.org. Thank you, Maura. Thank you, Gracia, for sharing this knowledge. And till we meet again for the next episode of So We Want to Talk About Christ. Bye-bye and God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.